All right. Well, hello guys. This is Professor Joanne Rovin
It's Joan.
or Joan. My bad. But yeah, so pretty much, I just wanted to ask you a series of questions in terms of graphic design. So just to get started off, how did you get started into this field?
Wow, I hadn't thought about all this. It's been so long. I wanted to be an artist since I was really young, and I was working at RCC, and I wasn't in graphic design. And I kind of started learning Photoshop on the job because no one else was doing it. And there was a Mac computer sitting in the back of the room. This is like 1990, so a long time ago. And I was just learning on the job, and I knew I liked art, so I got my associates at RCC in art, and I decided to continue and get a degree in art. So actually, I don't have a graphic design degree.
Oh wow.
No, so I have my master's in illustration.
Mm.
So I went to Cal State Fullerton, so RCC, took all my classes here, and then I transferred to Cal State Fullerton, got my bachelor's in illustration, and went on and got my master's. And it took a really long time, but I'm glad I did it. And the whole time I was working as a graphic designer.
Mm.
So I just sort of fell into graphic design.
Nice. Wow. That's actually like very surprising that you don't have like anything in graphic design, but
No, other than learning the programs. But when you take any program like at a like a Cal State or a four-year college, if you're going to take any kind of art or graphic design, everyone takes the same lower division general ed, like figure drawing, typography, all the things that play into graphic design. So I took typography and things like that, even though I was doing illustration, which was more drawing pictures and
getting into like sketches and such.
yeah, I was doing like children's books type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the same skill set basically. I mean, everyone has to learn typography, balance, line, color, composition. Just like we were talking about the video. So it's all the same basic skills, and just they translate to all these different fields: video, graphic design. So I don't know if you're interested in.
Oh no, yeah, like I'm currently going for my associates in graphic design because I do have a passion for drawings.
Perfect. So have you taken art classes too? So you've done the.
Yeah, I'm currently enrolled in a few basic design classes as well. So.
Okay, yeah, I took all those classes. They haven't changed in 30 years, so.
Yep.
Yeah, Art 22, Art 23.
22, yeah, exactly.
I took them here, so.
But yeah, so is there anything that you have done in graphic design so far that you would want to maybe like give tips to, like any kids like currently in the process of getting into that field?
Or adults getting in the field.
Right,
any age can get back in or start. What I see I can tell when someone hasn't had any classes, because everyone, thinks if the program, you can be a designer, right? Because everybody's a designer now with, Microsoft Word and all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thinks they're a designer. But it's so easy to spot work from people who have not taken typography. Not that you need to know the entire history of every font created. You just need to know about the spacing, the balance, how to use type. Type is so important. People underestimate that. They think, well, that looks good. I'll just, throw it up there. I'll drive down the freeway and I'll see too big of a space between two letters and it'll drive me crazy. Because once you learn how to see, you can't unsee this stuff.
Yeah.
So type is huge. And then just basic design stuff. The balance, the color. Got to know color theory, or at least even if you don't know specifically how to say these different color combinations, tertiary and all that stuff, you need to understand what looks good and why.
Yeah.
You can't just go, okay, I'll just pick blue today. You got to have a system.
You have to have like an understanding of all the specific. Yeah.
And I think people get real intimidated. They think they have to memorize all these terms, all this stuff. Know, the history of every font. It's like, you don't. You just get a basic understanding, and your own style is going to take over. And if you have any natural creativity, it just needs a little guidance. So take typography, take all the basics, and take drawing. Beginning drawing is so important. Even if you draw terribly, it'll really help you, because what you're learning through all these classes is you're learning how to see. You're learning how to, when something looks off, because you can look at something, right, like a poster and think something doesn't look right there, but you can't figure it out. Once you get this understanding, you'll know what to do to fix it. So you're training your eye how to see things, basically.
I see.
Then you can do anything. It could be a brochure, it could be a CD, it could be a t-shirt. It doesn't matter what you design, because you can use the exact same skills. So it's not a big mystery. People think you have to have so much training. It's it's more just learning how to see and then having enough skills to do what you want.
That's very awesome. Well, yeah, not a very formal choice of words, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I'm with you too.
But,
So just it's I think people formalize things so much and intimidate people wanting to learn things with the software and with all the terms, and I think we could just kind of uncomplicate things.
well, is there any like inspiration that you would draw from other things, like in terms of like creating works for clients and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, because I do. So besides working here at RCC, I freelance and I have for like I don't know, maybe 10 years, and I've done things from. I mean, I just did a big CD design and a poster and a T-shirt for an Ivy League college in their music department. I've worked for Honda. I've worked for all kinds of companies. I've worked for spas. I mean, and I just did a book cover for this guy that does religious books. So I always say I will design anything because it's fun to do different things.
Yeah.
And I always take the exact same approach, no matter whether it's a book or a CD or something for a formal business or a kid's birthday. I always have the exact same approach. So just what's the color scheme? What's the seal? And I just kind of have a little checklist more in my mind of how I approach it. So my inspiration is I love to design anything. There's nothing I wouldn't design,
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's fun.
Yep. So just having fun with everything
Yeah,
in general?
variety.
Mm-hmm.
Because, your day job, you probably, you're never going to have that much variety, well, depending where you work.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of variety. So freelancing is such a big range of things, so that's where it can be really fun, And people think, oh, I just want to freelance and work in my pajamas at home, right? It's really hard. So people think that's the easy way. I'm just going to do that. It's not what you think. You end up not being able to, bill for all your hours of emails and things like that. But it's very fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a lot of people just say, do your thing, whereas you work at a place, it's more rigid. So if you're a free spirit and you want to do what you want to do, freelancing is good. And I think most people I know in design, my friends, they'll freelance on the side because that's where you get to be creative.
Yeah, something I would do.
And are you doing it yet? Any freelancing?
I'm currently working on commissions and such, trying to get things done for other people. Like I am making a few bucks off of that, but I'm just trying to like finish my degree at school currently, just so I can like be able to like make a name for myself in a sense.
And have time.
Yeah.
Because you won't be studying so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, freelancing, you learn so much because you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You probably find it's more difficult in a way because you don't have anyone really to ask, and you have to figure it all out. So that's great training.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really good.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Well, last question. So, any business tips or just anything in terms of that
With
topic
money?
that you would want to give to me?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so when I started your regular day job, it's a salary. Wherever you can get a job, great. And if you're going to freelance, it's a whole other thing because you're in charge of it. When I started, I was terrified to ask for what I was worth. And when people didn't pay me, I was afraid to collect.
Mm-hmm.
So you have got to get over all that. And first thing I tell people is make a rate chart, a list of what you charge, and don't back down, because everybody and their brother is going to want you to do free stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're already
doing it. Definitely,
we all do.
Definitely, yeah.
So, and that can get out of control. And you may have a day job, you don't have time for that, but you need to have a rate sheet. Set your rates appropriately, see what other people are charging and what you feel your skill level is. You don't overcharge to where you can't deliver.
Yeah.
And you can change every year. And then keep track of your expenses, and I have a great app for that because you can write everything off. This trip here today, you can write off.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my money advice. As far as getting a regular job, you're kind of you're sort of just subject to whatever the salaries are and what people are offering.
Mm.
So it's sort of two worlds.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to know. But again, I really appreciate your time.
Oh, you
well, thank you very much.
Are we off camera
All
now?
right. Well, now.